Yo, what's good? This your boy Derek Branch here of Saint Discussions on Strike 7 Sports. And tonight I just want to recap, what actually went down with the New Orleans Saints head coaching search, their pursuit of a new head coach to take over for Sean Payton, who walked away from 16 years of roaming the sidelines as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints. So, it's a last video, I kind of shared my thoughts on the Saints head coaching search and um, what they should look for, what type of coach I think should the Saints be looking for, what the type of pedigree should they be pursuing for their next head coach. And I went over a couple of things, a couple of attributes that I think will benefit the team well, with the new head coach. The new, I would say, somewhat new regime with the new head coach. So it's the week of the Senior Bowl right now, and there's a lot of Saints reporters out there. Um, the Saints are out there as well without a head coach, but they're doing that. They're on evaluations on the team and all that other stuff, good stuff. So, and on top of that, they're doing their interviews. They started their interviews for their new head coach. I just want to quickly recap some of those interviews that they've went through. They've conducted so far with the candidates. So right now in the image right here, you got this Sean Payton right here in the middle. He's the former head coach, and between them is Aaron Glenn, who is the defensive coordinator with the Detroit Lions, but he was the defensive back coach for the Saints for a good minute. And on the left, on the right, you got Dennis Allen, who is the defensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints. So based on his reports that I have right now from the New Orleans Saints website, written by John DeSager, the Saints have interviewed three candidates. Three candidates have interviewed for New Orleans Saints head coach vacancy, and the names are Doug Pederson, Brian Flores, and Aaron Glenn. The first three more candidates are expected to interview. So I think Doug Peterson interviewed Monday. Well, I think it was Sunday he interviewed. I think they did Aaron Glenn Tuesday or Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Brian Flores interviewed yesterday, and that's a whole different issue right there. But Flores currently has a lawsuit against the NFL and a few football teams, the New York Giants, the Miami Dolphins, and the Denver Broncos. He's alleged some racism in regards to the coaching practices of hiring a new head coach, and some other stuff that went down with him between him and the Miami Dolphins. More in particular, their owner Stephen Ross, who, according to Flores, was willing to pay him 100 grand a game to tank games, lose game on purpose in order to improve the Dolphins draft picks to get higher draft picks in the NFL draft. That's a whole different topic to talk about in itself. I share my thoughts on it on the main Strike Seven Sports YouTube channel. You can check that out if you go to the Strike Seven Sports regular channel, the main channel. Right here, I'm just gonna keep it strictly Saints. Now, according to Flores, he did and do the interview with the Saints, and I believe the Saints did know about the lawsuit, if I'm not mistaken. But he did the interview with the Saints, and he still went through with the after the interview. He went through with the lawsuit, went public with it, and pretty much, I wouldn't say it went go viral, but it pretty much got its rounds and on social media, on networks, everything, all that other good stuff. And other stuff, now other coaches are coming out like Hugh Jackson and talking about how he was paid a boatload of money to 10 games for the Cleveland Browns when he was the head coach. So don't know what's gonna happen with Flores and the Saints. I don't know if they're gonna have intentions of hiring him, even though he's suing the NFL. According to Mickey Loomis, Saints general manager, he was really impressed with Flores interviewing with the team. So we'll see how everything goes from there. But other names on this list were Doug Pederson, who I think is a great candidate. Could be a great candidate for this team. Well, I won't say candidate, but could be a great head coach for the Saints. And in my last video, when I talked about it, I shared my thoughts on when they're starting the process of interviewing people. One of my things were that I would prefer them to, if they really want to, I prefer that they hire a head coach that's on the has an offensive pedigree, somebody like an Eric Bieniemy or a a Doug Peterson, and that's because the way the game is going right now, the way the game is going with you know it benefits an offense, it benefits the quarterback, it benefits wide receivers, high scoring games. It's not saying that those offenses can't be stopped, but the majority of the time, the teams that are going to be better, the teams that are going to be contenders in the long run, are going to be teams that have really good quarterbacks and good head coaches that have an offensive pedigree. Now, I'm saying that Dennis Allen can't get that done, but there's only so much you can do, and we don't know. We don't know if Allen is like a Belichick, has the abilities of a Belichick, where you can constantly find good assistants, bring a man, hire him, and get him to run your offense. Hopefully we can get that with Dennis Allen if we hire him, if the Saints hire him. But I'm just saying, man, it'd be better. I wouldn't mind having an offensive-minded head coach like a Eric Bieniemy, a Doug Peterson, those type of coaches that have worked with Pro Bowl quarterbacks. Peterson worked with Carson Wentz before the injuries occurred, got the best out of him before he was lost for the season that year when they went to the Super Bowl. It was because of Carson Wentz's performances prior to that injury that got the Eagles in that position. But Aaron Glenn, they interviewed Aaron Glenn. I mean, you could call it a Rooney Rule hire. They're trying to repeat the Rooney Rule. Whoop de whoop. It is what it is. I don't think they interviewed. I don't think they went ahead and interviewed Byron Leftwich, but I'm assuming this is a Rooney Rule hire right here with a Rooney Rule interview with Aaron Glenn. He's familiar with the team. That's the positive side of it. The defense he ran in Detroit wasn't all that great, wasn't too successful, and that's mainly because he's inheriting a new roster, new organization, trying to establish a culture there along with Dan Campbell, who was also an assistant with the Saints as well last year, but. Out of between, if they're gonna go defense, I prefer the Saints go with I prefer they go with Dennis Allen or Brian Flores. To be honest, I prefer they go with Brian Flores. I just think they would be the better fit, more of a. I would prefer what they know about defense compared to Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is coming over from was dealing mainly with defensive backs when he was with the Saints, and you may see it differently, but I think once Aaron Glenn left, when took the job in Detroit, and the Saints hired Chris Richard, the defense started. I would say the secondary played a lot better under Chris Richard compared to Aaron Glenn. That's just me. You got some out of PJ Williams. PJ Williams probably going to get paid from either the Saints or from somebody else because of the improvements that Williams made with Williams made with Richard under Richard's guidance as a defensive back coach. And then plus I just think that the secondary played a lot physical. Man, it was a very like that Seattle, the Legion of Boom style. coverage that we saw when Rashad was in Seattle with that defense with Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor. We saw that type of physicality with this defense on secondary. So I would prefer those two over two gentlemen over Aaron Glenn if you're gonna go the defensive route as a head coach, or or Brian Flores. Brian Flores or Dennis Allen, but now that Brian Flores, may, not coach again in the NFL. We don't know how everything's gonna play out from this. He still may have opportunity to coach, but we don't. We got to see how everything's gonna play out. But if you're gonna go a defensive route, I would prefer to go Dennis Allen or Brian Flores. If Saints still want to pursue that route with Mr. Flores, even though he's deciding to sue the NFL. Not I want to go with Aaron Glenn right here. All in this offense, I would, Doug Pederson or Eric Bieniemy for head coach. That's what I think they should do. Me preferably, but so far they have interviewed Dennis Allen, Brian Flores, Doug Peterson, and Aaron Glenn. Now I don't know who the other. Well, tomorrow they didn't interview Dennis Allen yet, and Dennis Allen will be interviewed later today. Made this video in the morning, but early in the morning. But he'll be interviewed. He'll be interviewing Thursday afternoon. I'm assuming Thursday morning, and I don't know who the other two coaches are going to be according to this article. The story right here from John DeShazier is that he got 3 more candidates to interview. So you got Dennis Allen and 2 other candidates they're going to interview. I don't know who those guys are going to be, but we'll find out. Yeah, I think it's going to be Darren Rizzi. Darren Rizzi is going to be one of them. He's going to be the offensive coordinator. Not the offensive. Darren Rizzi is the special teams coach, so they're going to interview him as well. I think they tried to interview, from what I read, Pete Carmichael, but he turned it down. So Carmichael wants to be strictly an OC. And you know what? I have no issues with that. Hopefully we can keep him here once the new head coach gets announced. So my gut feeling, as I stated last week, is that I think they're gonna hire Dennis Allen, and he will become the new head coach of the New Orleans Saints. Taking over for Sean Payton, leading his team into the next era. And like I said last week, man, with Dennis Allen, I just want to see what his plan is going to be for the quarterback position. What new ideas are he going to introduce to the team? Are you going to let Pete Carmichael run that offense, without being too conservative with it? Given that you're a defensive guy, a defensive-minded head coach, and a lot of defensive-minded head coaches tend to be a little too conservative, kind of like, pull the reins back on their quarterback just to be, conservative on the football, all that stuff. But I just think that you just gotta be a little more aggressive now. Saints still have weapons on offense. You got Michael Thomas, who I expect everybody's expecting to come back next season, based on everything that has been reported. You still got Alvin Kamara, Deontay Harris is still out there, Deontay Hardy now. So I just don't my only issues with Dennis. My only questions with Dennis Allen, and what are you gonna do in certain? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna introduce to the team that Sean Payton didn't? That will make this team better, So we'll see how it goes. But I expect we probably will find something out by before the Super Bowl. They'll probably have a new coach in here before the Super Bowl, which is next week. We're gonna play a little bit of what Mickey Loomis said at the Senior Bowl.
How's the coaching search going so far? How's the coaching search going so far?
Well, we're in the middle of the process. We've had 3 three candidates in. They were all really impressive in their own right, and then we've got some more work to do.
I guess, I know, not getting into a lawsuit, but just the Brian Flores,
Yeah.
you had an interview with him, correct?
Yeah, we did.
What can you say? Did it go well? How did it?
Yeah, he was very impressive, and we had we had a great interview, and it went well.
What are some of the qualities you guys have liked about Dennis Allen just being around in the last few years?
Well, look, first of all, he's a great coach, and he's been a part of our building for a long time. Obviously, there was a period of time that he wasn't with us, but he's been part of building, the culture and the success, big part of the success we've had over the years. And he's got experience as a head coach as well.
Are the questions for you guys significantly different than they were 15, 16 years ago now?
Well, I can't remember 15 or 16 years ago, John, but I don't think they probably are different, and yet I think we're still trying to find out the same sort of things, get a feel for the same sort of things from these head coaching candidates that, a lot of philosophy and vision and leadership, and just, the specific questions may be a little different in how we go about finding out what we're looking to find out.
How many more interviews do you foresee having to conduct with different candidates?
Yeah, I think probably at least 3, and we'll see from there.
You said the interview with Flores went really well. What do you like that stands out about Brian and done so far in his career?
Look, just a lot of things. I don't want to get into the specifics, but we had a good interview, and he's impressive.
Did Flores give the heads up that this lawsuit was going to be coming prior to interviewing with you guys?
He did after we finished the interview.
And just in general, just in terms of just coaching hires and practice and stuff, do you like how the NFL is set up currently with the rules? Would you like to see something change about it, or just how, the processes of getting certain candidates in, and, is it one of those things where there may be some tinkering that may need to be done with the rule?
Yeah, I think you always look at the process and evaluate it and see if there's some things that you might do differently. And there were some changes this year, and afterwards I think the league will evaluate that, and my guess is they'll make some more adjustments as we go along, but there's nothing off the top of my head that I can think of.
Mickey, how big a decision is this?
Well, look, it's it's our head coach. It's the face of the franchise. It's the direction that we're going to be headed. It's a really important decision, and I'd like it to be someone that coaches here for 16 years and has a lot of wins like the last one. But it's an important decision. I don't think any of us. None of us are taking this lightly. We're looking to find someone who can lead our team for the long run.
How different is this kind of weekend or week with?
All right, man. There you have it. There you have it right there. Saints general manager, executive vice president Mickey Loomis. Going to talking about the interviews and status of the team right now, but he didn't really say nothing to me. It was very covert in all of his interviews. He doesn't really say a whole lot to me, in my opinion. Almost like he works for the FBI, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's good to be like that, not to give everything up and just explain your intentions to every time a camera's in front of you. So that's that. But tomorrow or today they're gonna be interviewing Dennis Allen and Darren Rizzi, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know who the third guy is gonna be. Maybe that's gonna be Eric Bieniemy. We don't know. But I would that's the route I would like the Saints to take if they're gonna go on the offensive side, like I said before, Eric Bieniemy or Doug Pederson, in my opinion. So we'll see. But anyways, man, that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how y'all feel. Who do you have the Saints taking as the next head coach? Think he's going to be Dennis Allen, or you think they're going to go on a different route and hire Aaron Glenn or Eric Bieniemy or Doug Peterson? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, check out strike7sports.com/Saints for latest content on the Warren Saints organization. Have a blessed night. Peace. Who that? I'm out.